Sappho biography. Sappho was an ancient Greek female poet who wrote lyrical poetry famous for its intense passion and description of love. Being born on the Isle of Lesbos, she is also referred to as the first lesbian poet. Little is known of her actual life, though she was born around 620 BC, and died approximately 50 years later. Unfortunately, much of her poetry has been lost, although some poems have been painstakingly pieced together through surviving fragments. Details of her life are hard to piece together as there are few reliable sources. For example, historians are unsure about whether to take her poetry as reliable autobiographical evidence. However, evidence from the period suggests she was temporarily exiled to Sicily because of political troubles on the island of Lesbos. Sappho is sometimes referred to as a lesbian. The word lesbian is actually derived from her place of birth, Lesbos. However, there is no hard evidence about her sexuality. Her poems express great passion for a variety of people, both men and women. They may have been autobiographical or not. A philosopher, Maximus of Tyre, wrote that the friendships of Sappho were similar to those of Socrates, suggesting Sappho had a circle of like-minded friends brought together by a love of art, poetry and culture. It has been suggested, with little authority, that Sappho may have been the head of some formal academy like a school. However, it is more likely to be a less formal circle of friends. The poetry of Sappho often revolves around themes of love and passion, and has a clarity and simplicity of language. Within her poems, there is great vividness and directness. The style is often conversational, giving an impression of immediacy in action. The poems were also sung to music, meaning they needed to be lyrical in form. Sappho is believed to have had at least 2 brothers and may have been married and had a daughter. There's also the question of her sexuality. It's thought that Sappho expressed amorous interest in men, and in fact such expressions were grossly caricatured in later forms of entertainment. Nonetheless, some surviving verses, including a hymn to Aphrodite, prominently showcase same-sex desire. Sappho thus eventually developed a reputation of representing romance between women, with her home island of Lesbos having inspired the term lesbian, though the word had different connotations in ancient times. The question of how long Sappho lived has also been tied into the realm of legend. One story states that she might have jumped from a cliff due to unrequited love from a male sailor. But her old age poem, discovered in 2004 and featuring lines about time's effects on the body, implies that the poet lived past middle age. Her reported year of death ranges from 570 to 550 BC. The bulk of Sappho's work was lost due to adverse environmental conditions and the restrictive, destructive mores of the Middle Ages, though papyri fragments managed to surface by the late 1800s. Scholars and biographers over the years have presented a variety of theories about Sappho's life and how her work can be interpreted, though these offerings are speculative and can't be verified. In 2013, Oxford University scholar Dirk Kalbeck announced the findings of 2 more pieces from Sappho, the Brothers poem and the Kypros poem, though there's been attendant controversy, as aspects of the discovery are shrouded in secrecy. Works published on Sappho in the new millennium include If Not, Winter, Fragments of Sappho, 2002, by Anne Carson, and Sappho, a new translation of the complete works, 2014, by Diane Rayer.